This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
Welcome to the Stop Listen podcast. I am your host, Jamie. So, I talked about it in the video I uploaded today. I talked about Kristi Noem. And that led into Tulsi Gabbard, who I really wanted to talk about. But as I thought about it, I was like, yeah, you know what? I think I can get a little bit more mileage out of Kristi Noem. So, Kristi Noem has a book out, as is Tulsi Gabbard, coincidentally. I wonder what other vice presidential candidates have books coming out. But anyway, so she's governor of South Dakota. She lives on a farm, grew up on a farm apparently. I don't know almost nothing about her. I just know about the kind of the general image that's been painted about her. But so kind of a left-wing liberal news site, I'm not sure which one, kind of irrelevant, got a hold of her book. And she tells a story of killing a 14-month-old dog in the United States. And she thought that was going to... Kristi Noem thought that was going to play well. So she ruined her career. Oh, wow. But anyway, so let's see this from MSNBC. I'm sure. So here, let's get the other side, you know.
You know how the fake news works. They leave out some or most of the facts of a story. The truth of the story is that this was a working dog, and it was not a puppy. It was a dog that was extremely dangerous. I'm a dog lover. I've trained dogs for years. I've been around hundreds of them, of course, and so this was a tough situation. Dogs that have this kind of a problem, that have been to training for months, they are extremely dangerous, and a responsible owner does what they need to do and what the law will allow.
What's the old adage?
So I think that was
explaining why you shot your family pet.
That was her on Hannity, which I was going to play anyway, so I guess I'm not going to have to do that.
Especially when...
So it was reported that she got the dog and she took it out on a hunting trip when it wasn't really ready because it was very rambunctious. She thought being around the older dogs would kind of calm it down. It did not do that at all. And then after that, it was sitting in her truck. So at the bed of the truck or in a cab with the windows down. And she was talking to her neighbors, and the neighbors had chickens. The dog jumped out, attacked the chickens, started clamping down, killing them, and moving on. That's why they go on rampages. They don't just do one. And then she tried to stop him, or her. It was a girl dog, I think she did say. And the dog snapped at her. So she took the dog out and killed it. And she tells this story because she's trying to look tough. She's trying to be and okay, Law and Order. I mean, okay, we need more of that. We need that kind of mindset. But this is America. People get bumper stickers and put them on their cars that talk about their children's pets. Fur baby, my grand fur babies. I mean, the fact that we have a word called fur babies in this country says that we're sick.
When you're a nationally recognized politician explaining why you took a 14-month-old dog named Cricket out to a gravel pit and executed her at point-blank range. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem's unfathomable decision.
And it's funny. I mean, at point-blank range. Well, she's supposed to snipe it? That doing so was the more merciful method.
To include this anecdote in her upcoming memoir has sparked outrage and also captivated the party, and not in a good way. Former President Trump is reportedly disgusted by the story. Rolling Stone reports today that Trump can't stop talking about it, and he has repeatedly brought up the incident with his aides. Today, Colorado's Jefferson County Republicans announced they have canceled Governor Noem's fundraiser tomorrow.
Her career's over. And I wasn't planning on it, but last episode was about Tulsi Gabbard going on Joe Rogan, and I was really trying to interpret that to see what her motive was. Then she popped up on Dave Rubin, and then I seen her on Adam Carolla of all places. I mean, that's shocking that she would go on Adam Carolla, but she's campaigning for Trump. She's not mentioning him, but she's just saying you can't vote for Biden. She's making the case to those liberal men that are on the fence that could be persuaded. I think Rogan, Carolla, Dave Rubin, they have an audience that could be persuaded. I mean, Dave Rubin is really much more on the right anyway now. His followers, but Carolla and Rogan, they're not like political per se, and so they have listeners that aren't necessarily one thing or the other, and that's what she's doing. So I'm going to have an episode about that. But anyway, back to Kristi Noem's career-ending move.
Supposedly for safety reasons. But that is not the only controversial story in this book. In the very aptly titled memoir, No Going Back, Noem writes, I remember when I met with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. I'm sure he underestimated me, having no clue about my experience staring down little tyrants. I'd been a children's pastor, after all. The Dakota Scout, a local newspaper, first cast doubt on Noem's claim here. It spoke with dozens of Noem's staffer, none of whom had any knowledge of the meeting with the reclusive dictator. Sort of the thing you wouldn't really forget if you were a staffer or the governor. And tonight, the governor's team is admitting that the story is not true. Kristi Noem never...
Oh, my gosh. This is new. Okay, I missed this. I haven't heard this reported anywhere else before. This is amazing. She made this up. Oh my gosh, her career's over. I thought, you know what? She could, if she wanted, because she was a congressman. She could slide back into being a congressman or a senator. Certainly, South Dakota has two. I mean, people from there know how it is. They know the truth. Oh my gosh, wow, this is amazing. This is like the most entertaining thing I've actually watched on tonight. I was just playing
actually met with Kim Jong-un. In the book, Noem also writes that she spent time in Paris and was slated to meet the French President Emmanuel Macron. But after Macron called for a ceasefire in the Israel-Hamas war, Noem claims, I decided to cancel. Well, the Dakota Scout was on this one, too. The Scout confirmed with the French president's office that Macron never had a meeting scheduled with Kristi Noem. Spokesman for Noem says, we've been made aware that the publisher will be addressing conflated world leaders' names in the book before it is released. Unfortunately for Governor Noem,
my goodness,
both of the stories about her diplomatic achievements appear to be false, but the story about shooting her own dog is most certainly true.
Wow. Okay. So she got more in depth than they showed on Hannity. So what she said on Hannity, which now we don't know if that was true or not. It was probably full. She was probably lying. Okay. Wow. Okay, this is awesome. This is like real time. Really.
Here's a question tonight. Did Tim Scott just become...
Oh, see, hold on. I'm going to play a... This was an accident, but that's interesting.
The VP favorite for Donald Trump? Well, here's a question tonight. Did Tim Scott just become the VP favorite for Donald Trump? Well...
God, no, I hope not. Anyway. Okay, Kristi Noem. So she said on Hannity, if we're giving her the benefit of the doubt on this, that it was the dog's second chance already. The first place the dog was, she was aggressive with the children. So she agreed to give it a try with her own children around. This woman is an idiot. I'm fairly certain. These people that lead us, I mean, oh my Lord. Okay, I mean, she doesn't lead me. I don't live in South Dakota, but still, like, you know, we still, I a week ago, I would have been fine if she would have been the vice presidential pick. Okay. Back to the story. So, second chance for the dog. So I don't know when she actually got a hold of this dog and how old it was. I don't know anything about hunting dogs. Nothing. I've never had any experience with that. But that's really irrelevant. The dog was in the vehicle and attacked chickens. And where they live, there's probably a lot of chickens. When that dog did that, that dog is now a chicken killing dog. That's what it's going to do when it sees chickens. It just got burnt into him. And then, on top of it, snapped at the owner. Didn't fear the owner. The dog had to go. Kristi Noem did the right thing in that action. The fact that she brought it up herself, my goodness. They're not even going to release the book. They're not going to release a book that has when they already know what it's all about. There's a bunch of lies in it. They're going to cancel the book deal. She's not going to be a vice president or president someday. My goodness. Trump choosing her could have led to her, even if this never came out. She was stupid enough to say that she met with Kim Jong-un and then admitted to killing the dog, truthfully? Holy shit! I would have theoretically, like, okay, you know, she serves 4 years under Trump, and then maybe she's ready for the presidency. That entered my brain. My goodness, I'm stupid. Oh, goodness. We have horrible leaders, folks. We have horrible, horrible leaders. All right. That's all I got to say about this one. Listen, I got the Lake and Riley still ending playing. I think I actually may have not used it in the last video, but anyway, I'll make sure to have it on this one. Lake and Riley, a young woman who was murdered in Georgia while jogging by a criminal who had no right to be in this blessed country. We need to remember her, because when we don't remember her, there are more of her. You know what I'm saying? But, folks, have a good night. I'll see you later. Bye.
You know something? You know something? If you had told us 1 year ago that we were going to come in third in Iowa, we would have given anything for that. And you know something? You know something? Not only are we going to New Hampshire, Tom Harkin, we're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. And we're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Yeah!
This is your life, and it's ending 1 minute at a time.
This war stops now.
End the war. Bring freedom to our people.
No. No more tricks.
No more lies. Only truth.
This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.